Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. It's located on the southwest spawn of Arctic region, otherwise known as Mannerheim Line, and it's under the command of Angelina75 of OLIMP. And this is Angelina's first submission for this week's competition for the Weekend Lion. Game on! Well, if you're a follower of this channel, then you probably know about the competition that takes place every week between Angelina75 and talon1958 to win the Weekend Lion. Yes, their little son Remy gets up very early in the morning on Sunday mornings to play with his toys and generally run around the house and enjoy himself. And one of the adults has to get up and look after him. So the other one gets a lie-in at the weekend, and of course they held a competition based on their Arty replays. Who can ever get the better result actually ends up lying in at the weekend, and the other one, well, they have to get up and chase after Remy. He's a really good boy. He loves his playing with his toys, but obviously children, they love leaving their toys all over the place, turning the lights on, never switching them off. Rounds out. Oh, first shot hits the TVP T5051 and tracks him and gets her 450 hit points, and she got an STB1 at the same time. And both of those guys are taking damage, so she's actually ended up very well off. Look at that, 1054 stun assist off that one, and the TVP is still tracked, or still stuck there. He's fixed his tracks now. Okay, rounds out again. Oh, that one hit again. 296, more stun. Angelina's changing position to avoid counter battery. Now, counter battery is pretty hot on the NA server. Lots of Arty players, they like and enjoy doing counter battery. So we're going back to the same area again, but well, no, we switched to the south front, because there is an enemy M10 on the ramp, sitting there, somewhere over in that position. There he is, lines up the shot, rounds out, and oh, it went right over the top of him and landed behind him, far enough away that he didn't even get stunned. And Angelina's changed position again. Now the M53 M55 that she's driving is based on the M47 pattern tank. They were designed during the 1950s, and they were actually used between 1952 to 1960. Had a crew of 6, and they were bought by quite a few countries as well. That guy pulled back rather quickly. Rounds out. Oh, he pulled back very quickly once he knew a shell was on the way in. They were bought by the USA, by Belgium, Turkey, Spain, West Germany, and the Republic of China, which of course we know is Taiwan. Now it's quite a heavy Arty, 48 tons, so you can ram in a M53 or an M55. This is the M55, used by the US Army. It's got the 8-inch howitzer, capable of 900 alpha, penetrating 52 millimeters of armor, and she just smacked that 7032 in the base. And of course it's got a 10.5 meter burst radius. You can see the shell actually hit the lower plate of that 7032, so he's not going to be a happy bunny at all, because he lost 278 hit points of damage. Oh, he's submerging himself. Is he drowning himself on purpose? I think he is. I think he's given up. He's had enough. Well, he's out the game now because he's drowned himself to death. I hope people take note of that, because if a player gives up just like that, out of frustration, well, they're not going to be a very good teammate, are they? Can't have people deserting you in the middle of a battle just by drowning themselves. After all, that's not the done thing. I know it's a joke, because a lot of people accuse Arty of drowning themselves or ending their battles prematurely, but the fact of the matter is, A lot of Arty players do not do that. They fight till the bitter end to get as many hit points as they can off the enemy. Rounds out. Can she get this Scorpion? She gets a bit of splash on him. No, what we do at What Arty Noobs, we teach people or train people as much as we can to not to do this. It's a bad practice to drown yourself. What you should do is you should try, if you are going to go down, try and make it spectacular. You know, try and ram the enemy to death, or even better still, you know, jump on the enemy, or at least try and do something that, you know, gets you a few more hit points. We abhor Arty drowning themselves. It not only gives a bad reputation to other Arty players, but it's a waste of credits, because you could earn more credits if you can kill more of the enemy or do more damage. I know some people say, oh, well, I'd much rather get out of a losing game and get into another battle somewhere else. But the fact of the matter is, it's just bad sportsmanship. Arty players shouldn't do that. Arty players should know better, because, of course, we think about our game. We have to be thinkers, because we have long periods to wait between loading the shell to work out what we're going to do next, where we're going to put these shells. Angelina fired at the bushes because there was a pretty good chance that one of the enemy tanks was behind there and unspotted. We do know that there was an enemy tank up there previously. Okay. Angelina's gone up to the height. She's looking around. She's searching for a target. The only target she can actually see at the moment, the Type 5 Heavy, is actually in a position where she can't get a shell very easily. She might be able to splash him a little, but not much. In fact, the enemy Arty's just made himself aware. He's just fired, and we saw the tracer coming from that direction, but now we've got a perfect target to fire at, a T-28 prototype. Now, they have very thin armor on the top of the roofs, so if Angelina can line up a shot that hits that vehicle, well, she got it near for 92. And she's stunned him, and she's got massive stun assist off that one. 622. Already up to, oh, she's up to 2100 hit points of stun assist now. So she could be close to getting an ace. She probably needs a bit more. We just saw the tracer coming from the enemy Arty. There's two of them. An M53, M55, and an M40, M43, because this is a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. She goes for the Type 5. And she does get some splash, 121, but sadly we lost a tank. But the Type 5 goes down. Angelina's changing position. It's looking much better now with two tanks up on the enemy. Unlike the GW Tiger P, who's just to her side there, over there in the bushes. Angelina is one player who knows how to use her W key, and Arty does move. This is one of the things that we keep saying. Arty can move and can win battles by moving about the map to get better angles on the enemy, but also they can actually go to the enemy cap and they can cap out. We've seen many times that Arty players have ended up with Raider Invader medals because they were never detected by the enemy, but they managed to get to the enemy cap and cap out the battle whilst the enemy weren't watching, and they've ended up with a nice set of medals and of course the win. There's only 3 enemies left, a Striv S1 and the 2 Arty, and Angelina's closing in to get a better angle on them. She wants to be able to shoot that Striv S1 as well as the enemy Arty, and she's putting herself into a position where she can get lovely shots. From here, the enemy can't see her, but she can see them as long as her teammates spot them for us. Now, the Striv S1 is probably in that position. That was a good guess. Can't be certain because he might actually be up in that corner. In fact, somebody, I think, has marked that corner. So it's a possibility the Striv is actually located over there rather than in the previous position. We've got an ISU 152 moving up, as well as, I think there's is that a Waffenträger? Just in front of us, we've got a BZ75. Oh, somebody's indicating over on the other side of the map, in the corner. Oh, the M53, M55 just got wiped out. Angelina just got a blind kill. Let's have a look at that one again. Yes, this is one of the few channels where you get an instant replay if somebody does something pretty incredible. She was watching this corner to see if there was Tracer coming out from this corner. She loaded the shell, rounds out into the corner. Oh, and there was the Arty. She just took him out. Excellent shot. Very well played. In fact, it's her first kill of this game, but she's got a massive score already. The M43 is in sight. Now, if she can get this guy, she would actually get a counter battery. She's going for it. Okay, she set herself up. She's going to the aim. There's the target. Let it settle, let it settle. Oh, denied. Oh my gum, she would have got the kill. And the game is over. I am absolutely certain that Angelina would have ended up with a counter battery medal as well for if she had actually pressed the trigger, even when it was just slightly in closing in. The aim was still contracting. If she fired at that moment, the shell would have gone straight through that M43, and Angelina would have got a counter battery fire medal and, of course, the last kill of the game. Angelina managed a first-class tanker out of that game, as well as a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 9. And she got a Confederate medal as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on her team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken down by other teammates. Her win rate from that game, 2,326, which is very good indeed. Let's have a look at team score. Well, she didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the BZ75, who managed to get 4,348 hit points of damage, and he got a steel wall out of the game, and his win rate was very, very high as well, 4,488. So yes, Mr. Fudd, you actually did very, very nicely out of that game. Second place on damage turned out to be the Scorpion on the enemy team. He got 3,192, and third place was the Leopard 1 with 3,185. Angelina managed 2,184 hit points, and of course she got that Confederate. The Udas, just above her, got a tank sniper out of that game at 2,563. When it came to kills, it was the BZ75 again. 4 kills to him, 3 kills went to the CS63, 2 kills went to the ISU-152K, the Scorpion G, the STB-1, the Tortoise, and the Striv S1 on the enemy team. Angelina only got the 1 kill, but it was a blind kill on an Arty hidden in the bushes. And she obviously spotted the Tracer coming out of that bushes and thought, yeah, I'm going to put a round in there, and ended up claiming the first of what could have been a counter battery double, and unfortunately wasn't. But when it came to base XP, she's in second place because the BZ75 managed 1,198, Angelina got 961, and the CS63 952. So she was only a short distance away from being over 1,000. There was only one player who was over 1,000, the BZ75. He got the steel wall and 1,198. So, yeah, very well played by him. But Angelina did very well indeed. And, of course, you saw her. She used the W key. And by using the W key, she got a kill because she was in an angle where she could get a shot on that enemy Arty. She saw it. She took it. She could have got the counter battery fire as well. I'm absolutely certain she would have got it. But, unfortunately, on this occasion, she's missed out. 13 shots fired, 5 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, which must have been the enemy Arty. We'll just check that now to be certain. Yes, it was. 450 hit points from a pen. She also got 10 splashes, damage of 2,184 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. She damaged 9 of the enemy and killed 1. 2,118 hit points of stun assists of 10 stuns. Now, on a free-to-play account, Angelina earned 36,581 credits from that battle. And she also got 1,922 XP as well. And with that score, she actually goes into the lead early on during the week. This replay actually took place on the 18th of July, which was more than a few days ago actually now. And so Angelina has had the lead for most of the week. But Talon did actually send in a replay. So let's have a look at his replay right now. In the second replay, Talon is on the southeast spawn rather, of Mountain Pass, and he's also in the M53, M55. Okay, so he's got the 8-inch howitzer. He's capable of doing 900 alpha and penetrating through 52mm of armor with a 10.5 meters burst radius. Now, there's a lot of traffic to get out of the way, and finally he can climb up the hill. From the top of the hill, you can actually shoot a lot of enemy tanks, but sometimes it can actually be advantageous to shoot from halfway up the hill, and there's a reason for that, because it confuses the hell out of the enemy Arty, because they can't work out where the Arty is if it's on the slope. You can still hit the enemy. Now, he's done the right thing. Aim for this pass, the north part of the bowl, which is where the enemy tanks will get spotted, because they always come there to actually try and shoot at our teammates. And there's bound to be another enemy, possibly at the top of the hill, more than likely in that position there. But he's not firing. He's noticed a standard B. He's dialing in on that guy instead. He's marked the target to let his teammates know that's what he's going to hit next. Rounds out. 252 hit points of damage. And he's got some stun assist already. And he's changing position to avoid counter battery. This is good play. You can see he's got the mark of having an ace tanker on this vehicle already. Ooh, look at that. T57 heavy. Yes, I think he wants a piece of that guy if he can get it. But he notices there are some enemies over on the ice road as well. And he's having a quick look. He's found an AE phase 1. Good. Let it settle. Nicely does it. Dialed in. Rounds out. It went to the right and long, but he would have got some stun, some splash off that one, and possibly some stun. Well, this is interesting. We've now got two tanks north of the bowl, the standard B and the T57 heavy holding the same spot, and they're about to pay for that because, of course, you don't want to sit two tanks alongside each other when there's Arty in the game, because if you do, they're going to get hit. Rounds out in the corner. It hits the corner. Unfortunately, that will probably shield one of the tanks from the fire, because he'll not only have the rocks working in his favour, but he also gets his teammate to cover him. Now, for some reason, we're not getting the aim timer coming up, which is very unusual. Normally, because we're using Aslane's mods, we get an aim timer, and we also get a timer for the actual shell to see when it's going in. Rounds out in the Gorilla 15. That was a good shot. Unfortunately, it landed short. The Gorilla managed to pull back just in time. But he's changing position again just to make it more difficult for the enemy Arty. There's two Arty in the enemy team, a batch at 155-55 and an M53 M55. Okay, we're looking at the, I think this is on the, yes, the Western Pass. Skoda T50 and a Cranbarn close together, rounds out. Well, the Cranbarn takes the hit, but the other tank, which was there, was stunned as well. Was it the AE phase 1 was hit and the other one? Or was it the AE phase 1 was stunned? They're so close together on the minimap, it's very difficult to determine who was where. Okay, we've even got tanks down in the gap underneath the bridge. One of the enemy Arty's just been spotted, and Talon's going to go for it. Rounds out. This could be a kill. It is. Now that's going to be very welcome to his teammates, because it now means there's one less Arty on the enemy team firing at them, and he's quickly changed position to avoid the counter battery. Unfortunately, there are two tanks down on the enemy at the moment. The enemy seems to be doing rather well. Okay, I can see why the T57 Heavy's holding at this side of the bowl, because there is a tortoise down in the bowl. Oh, lovely direct hit on the T57. 360 hit points. It's good. He's changed position again. Just that little movement can be more than enough to actually make sure that the enemy cannot get a counter battery. Trying for the Cranvarn. This could help his teammates. Rounds out. Looks good. It lands behind him, but it still gets 190 hit points, and more important than that, it gets the stun, which enables his teammates to benefit. Now, the enemy tank, or our teammate actually, is the Super Conqueror. Oh, you can see that Cranvarn's been very badly damaged. And it looks like one of Talon's shots actually did hit the turret on the turret front. And I think the Cranvarn's now in reload. He's pulling back. Talon's going to fire. Rounds out. Here we go. Oh, he got him! Yes! That was a good hit. In fact, I think we'll see an action replay of that one, if you please. Okay, you can see there. Pulls back. Talon's just about to finish his load. Rounds out straight away. Yes, direct hit right on the Cranvarn. And that saves the Super Conqueror, but he now has to deal with that standard B instead. But the Super Conqueror should be able to get the standard B. There he is. Talon wants him too. He's still reloading. I normally use my C key to say when I'm going to be reloaded. That comes up in chat. Marks it. Rounds out. He hits the guy in the rear for 368. 2 critical hits. And that makes it easier for the Super Conqueror to take him now. And he's done it! The Super Conqueror takes that enemy, and now we're one tank up on the enemy, thanks to Talon. That's changed the nature of the battle. Okay, he's perching up here on the hill. Okay, we've got a Doom Turtle and a Foch B. The Doom Turtle he can wipe out with one round, but he's in a kind of awkward position here. So I think what he's going to have to do is change position. The 212A, which is the other Arty on our team, is actually in the wrong spot at the moment. He went down low onto the ice road. And of course, there's nobody to stop those enemies coming in this general direction. So what he's going to do is, Talon's going to change the angle. The 212A hopefully will hide, but he might provide us with the location of that T95 or the Foch B and allow us to get a shot on them. There's also enemy tanks potentially headed in our direction from the bridge road as well, which obviously is a bit of a concern. Okay. There's the one on the bridge road. It's the E4. Now, we probably can't wipe him out with one shell, but we might be able to if we get a direct hit. Nope, we got a splash instead, so it left him on 101 hit points, but Talon picked up another 313 off that. But we've lost the Tortoise. The enemy T57 Heavy got him. Yep, he shot him from up on the Western Pass. In fact, our ST2 is in a lot of trouble now. We're still waiting for that... well, in fact, actually, the Doom Turtle has gone. He was wiped out. Well, that was an attempt to try and get the E4. He has to keep changing position because the enemy M53, M55 is still in the game. Oh, and an enemy tank has just turned up. Oh, no, he hasn't actually. He was in the bowl. I thought for a second he was close by. But we've lost our ST2. And now we're one tank down on the enemy. Okay, there's the E4. Making his way in this direction. It does look as if the Foch has gone. No, the Foch is still in the game. He's just not where we expected him to be. We thought he was on the ice road, but he's actually come up and around, and he's on the north of the bowl. Well, the thing is that now we've got 2 tanks up on the ramp. We've got the Super Conqueror and the Leopard prototype. And Talon, well, he's very close to the cap area. Now, he could lure the enemy in. Ideally, what he wants to do is hide yourself in the bushes and shoot at any enemy tank that tries to go up the ramp. Because you'd be shooting them in the rear. But I think he's trying to bait the enemy to come into the cap area so our guys can then shoot at them. And he'll also be spotting for the 212A at the same time. Okay, he's nicely lined up. More than likely, the enemy will come around that corner any second. Oh my gum! Didn't expect this. The Foch B did come round, but the 212A quickly sorted him out. And now we're back with 4 tanks left on each team. We've got 2 Arty. The enemy team's only got 1 Arty. Okay, the 212A, having done his job, is changing his position. He's going to try and make it more difficult. He's reloading, but hopefully he will still point in towards the north to the ice road, because the E4 might come around that corner. Because the E4 could come back down from the bridge and make his way round. 212A's repositioning. Talon's still waiting for a target. I've been in this situation myself before, where if you position yourself in the trees and the enemy can't see you, then all you have to do is wait for them to make an attempt to try and kill our teammates up on top of the ramp. And then you shoot them in the back, and they don't like that. They really don't like that. And of course, it forces them to turn around. And the moment they turn around, our guys on the ramp can then shoot them in the rear as well. There are a couple of rocks over in the corner behind the cap area where you can also hide from the enemy and just pop out to shoot at them every now and then, so they can't get direct shots on you very easily. Talon's got a partially obscured reticule. That means that there is something blocking the shot on one corner. We know that's the ramp. Okay, when he adjusts the aim, that block disappears. I suspect that the first one into the cap area will probably be the Leopard prototype. Oh, he's cheeky. He's very, very cheeky. He's come round from the other way, and he just spotted our 212A. Now, Talon's trying to get a direct hit. If he can wipe this guy out with 1 round. Oh, he does! He got him, but unfortunately, we lost the 212A. So he's quickly ducking into cover because he's still reloading. Oh, he's going to bait them into the cap area. This is very good. Even though he's still reloading. And that was the enemy RT trying to get Talon, but of course he's missed. One of the enemy tanks has just died. The gorilla, the second one, is going up the ramp. And Talon's going to come in behind him and shoot him in the ass. At point blank range. This is going to make the gorilla... Oh, he's gone! He's gone, and that means now there's only one enemy left. It's the enemy Arty, the M53, M55. Now, we did get spotted, so the enemy Arty, who's probably still in reload, might take a swing at him. But he's now headed for the enemy cap area. He could still get him, and he could take him out with a shotgun. These RTs do have fairly thin armor on the actual cab at the back. The front of the vehicle is heavy tank. Well, it's an M46, M47, so it's fairly robust, but if you can shoot one of these with an HE round, it normally goes straight through, especially if it's a 203mm. Okay, his last minute. He could be the guy to win this game. The Leopard prototype's rushing across the bridge road, and he's been asked to platoon by the Super Conqueror, and he's platooned. The Leopard prototype goes in there first. Probably worried about getting shotgunned himself. He's dodging and weaving from side to side. 30 seconds to go. Is he up on the ramp? He's in the cap area. He's acting as bait. There's the enemy Arty. The Leopard prototype is homing in on target. He's baiting that guy to come down, and there's the kill shot that wins the game. That was an exciting battle down to the last minute. In fact, the last 30 seconds of the game, Talon acted as bait for the enemy, went into the cap area, made himself obvious, made the enemy Arty turn around and look, and at that moment they spotted him, and the Leopard prototype could go to work. It was a first-class tanker for talon1958 in the M53, M55. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12. And of course, he got a Brothers in Arms as well for platooning with somebody else who had at least 3 kills as well. And his win rate from the game was 3,158. Now, that's going to be important at the end of this video. If we look at team score, we can see that he didn't get the highest damage. That actually went to the Type 5 Heavy on our team with 4,268 hit points of damage. Second highest damage went to the enemy Gorilla 15 with 4,215, and it would have been very funny if Talon had come up behind him and shot him in the ass with a 203mm round, because that would have gone straight through him and wiped him out with one shot. And in third place on damage, we can see it's the Leopard prototype with 3,364. He actually got a tank sniper in that game, and Talon picked up 2,571 hit points of damage, which is better than all but 3 on the enemy team and 3 on his own, which puts him in 7th place on damage. When it came to kills, it was the Superconqueror who did the best. He actually came out of the game with the Brothers in Arms and a Steel Wall. He got 4 kills out of the game. Talon picked up 3 alongside the Foshby on the enemy team, so joint 2nd place. And in 3rd place was the Type 5 Heavy, the Leopard prototype, and on the enemy team, their Leopard prototype, their Object 277, and their Skoda T50. When it came to base XP, Talon's in 4th place because the Super Conqueror managed 1,126, and of course Talon helped him to get the damage on some of those enemy tanks. He took out the Cranvarn, and he also got the damage on the Stand-Up B, which allowed the Super Conqueror to get the better of him. And 999 went to the Leopard prototype, 976 to the Type 5 Heavy, and in 4th place, Talon with 935. So only one player managed over 1,000, but the other 3 players beneath him came very close to getting that as well. He fired 13 rounds, decent amount of shots fired to get a good result. 6 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot. Well, let's have a look and see who did he penetrate in that game. Well, I rather think that it was actually the Leopard prototype, but it wasn't actually, funny enough, because that was the one where he fired into the side of the guy. But in fact, actually, it was the Batchat 155-55 up on top of the hill. He did take a hit just before our shot went in. Talon's hit him for only 40 hit points, but he did penetrate the armor and take him out of the game. He also got 12 splashes in the game. 2,571 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3, so missed out on a Confederate in this case. But he did pick up 504 hit points of stun assist off 10 stuns, and he got 17 capture points while he was in the cap at the end of the game. Now, he earned a profit from the game of 11,410 credits on a premium count, and he also took away 5,611 experience points as well. But I think the best thing about this result is Talon is now in the lead on the Weekend Lion, on the competition. You see, the problem is that Angelina only got a first-class bruiser and a Confederate. So that's 1 medal in her replay. 2,326 was the win 8. But Talon has got a first-class bruiser and a medal. And he's got a win 8 of 3,158, which means Talon's in the lead, yes, because he's got a higher win 8 than Angelina. Yes, she may have a Confederate medal, whereas Talon only has the Brothers in Arms, which is still a medal, still counts. So, yes, they both got the same score up here, And it's down to win 8, and when it comes to win 8, Talon got a better result because, of course, he was hitting higher tier opponents and he was getting good results. The Cranbon, that was a higher tier opponent than him, and he managed to put a round into that guy. T57 Heavy, that was another higher tier opponent and did some damage, and he did do some damage to the Gorilla 15 for 284 as well. That must have been a previous shot to the area, the thing at the cap. And the E4 is another tier 10 that he managed to hit in that game. So Talon is in the lead for the weekend line, and Angelina's playing catch-up, which means she's going to have to send another replay in before tomorrow morning. But if she does, I'll try and get it done tomorrow on Sunday so you can all watch it. But it's very interesting that at this last-moment victory for Talon, that he also snatches away the lead after virtually an entire week of Angelina being in the lead. Talon snatches it away at the last moment. So we'll wait and see if Angelina can come up with a really good replay. It'll probably have to be an ace tanker, but if she does get an ace tanker, she wins the weekend line outright there and then. And it's very possible that Angelina will do that because she has many ace tankers in the past, so she could do it again. I hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.